Did President Trump just end the political career of Maine Governor Janet Mills? It's definitely possible. And to be clear, it wouldn't be him who's ending her career. It's the fact that she's going against the will of the people. But let's first take a look at the clip that everybody in legacy media and everybody even on social media, they're talking about today.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with the state and federal
Well,
laws.
we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Yeah, it just doesn't get any better than that. That is perfect. So let's be clear. Did Trump really just end the career of Janet Mills? No, he did not. Janet Mills may have just ended the career of Janet Mills, and not because she's fighting against Trump, because you got legacy media saying that she's like all this super awesome, whatever. No, that's not the reason. The reason is because she and the rest of her cohorts in the Uniparty swamp, at least most of them, are still continuing to go against the will of the people. There are certain things, certain policies where it's like, oh, okay, so that's sort of like, that's sort of Democrat, sort of Republican. There's 51, 49, 48, 52, whatever. But then there are other topics, other policies that are unambiguously wanted by the American people. We're talking 60, 70, sometimes 80% of the people agree with a certain topic. And the Uniparty swamp, people like Janet Mills, tend to go against that for whatever reason. They're going against the will of the people. They're going against history, okay? For example, you've got Doge, okay? Doge, let's call it what it is. Doge, you might disagree with how they're going about doing it, but nobody, and I'm talking, maybe just the bottom 20%, the idiots of this nation, other than those people, the vast majority of Americans agree that government corruption, fraud, and waste should be not only exposed, there should be transparency, but it should be ended. Okay, again, we can disagree about how it's being done, but nobody wants it to continue unless they're just absolute idiots. Number two, you've got the border crisis. Okay, and this is something that sort of surprised me a bit. I did not realize until just before the 2024 election just how unified the American people were against the border invasion. I thought, there'd been enough indoctrination about open borders and stuff like this, but I fell victim, and I think a lot of us fell victim to the propaganda being pushed by legacy media. As it turned out, and we saw this in part at the ballot box, but we also saw it in the exit polls, we saw it in the regular polling, and now we're continuing to see it today, that the vast majority of Americans agree there's a border invasion. They want it to stop, and they want criminal illegal aliens to be deported. It's straightforward. Okay, we can disagree about dreamers or whatever, but as far as getting rid of Tren de Aragua, yeah, nobody's like, oh no, we've got to keep those gangsters here in America. Well, I say nobody except for people like Janet Mills. And then number three, we have this. We have the idea that most Americans, vast majority, do not want men competing against women in sports. They do not want boys competing against girls in sports. They do not want men walking around naked in girls' locker rooms. That's what the people want. And I would suspect that it won't take long before President Trump and the White House do go after Janet Mills. They do go after Maine because, it's it's obvious that they're on the wrong side. They being Maine and Janet Mills and the government by allowing boys to continue to compete against girls. The White House is going. Hold on, we just got a new report. 1 second. Let's take it to let's take it to Peter Ducey.
And something else that we can update you on from the top of the hour. I've been given an early copy of a release from the Education Department. Earlier today, we saw President Trump and the Maine governor squaring off, saying they would see each other in court because Maine is defying President Trump's new executive order on boys in playing in girls' sports at the high school level. Well, I've just been given there is a new Title IX civil rights investigation that the Trump administration is launching against Maine. So President Trump was not lying when he said he will be seeing the Maine governor and her team in court over this. It says it is specifically because Greeley High School, a school under its jurisdiction, is continuing to allow at least one male student to compete in girls' categories. Martha.
Well, what can I say? You know, there's one very challenging part about doing a show like this. There is the awesome part about being here during the Trump era, during the golden era of America. There's always going to be news. There's always going to be things for us to talk about, and it won't always be negative. You know, we went through 4 years of me being Eeyore. Oh, bother. Joe Biden did this again. Joe Biden fell. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Oh, bother. Now it's like, yes. Yeah. That's my Elon Musk impersonation, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, but that's the good part. The bad part is that the Trump administration comes at you pretty fast. If you don't stop and pay attention, you're going to miss it. Thank you for watching that clip. I hope you loved it. 2 things now that you're done watching the clip. Number 1, find all my stuff and be sure to follow me on Rumble, YouTube, whatever, X, Getter, Brighteon, BitChute, those places. Go to jdrucker.com/find, jdrucker.com/find. Number 2, please help support our newest sponsor. You can go to jdrucker.com/infowars, jdrucker.com/infowars, and shop the Alex Jones store. Help to keep an important piece of the media alive and well. jdrucker.com/infowars.